13 Roads. Here is a tale I have not yet forgotten. Iden Voorl met a man at the crossroads outside the village of Maren-by-Salt at midnight on the 2nd of November in his 24th year, and traded his soul for a song the village has been humming for 31 years and cannot stop. And the man Iden traded with is sitting in his kitchen now, on the morning after the 7th person to die humming the song was buried, waiting for the 8th. The 8th is Iden's own daughter, Liena. She is 9 years old. She has been humming the song for 2 weeks. She does not know she is humming it. She does not know the song has a name. She does not know that the song, when it is finished, when the last bar has been hummed by the last living person in Maren-by-Salt, will collect, on behalf of the man at the crossroads, the thing Iden traded for it. Iden traded his daughter. He did not know he was trading his daughter. He did not, at 24, have a daughter. He had not yet met her mother. He thought he was trading a thing called his soul, which he had been told was an abstraction, and which he was willing, that night, to spend in exchange for a song that the village would remember him by. The man at the crossroads, who has been called many things in many countries, and who is, in the country of the 13 Roads, called only the one who pays in tunes, did not lie to Iden. The one who pays in tunes did say, your soul. He did not say, the soul that comes out of you in the form of the next person who calls you father. He did not have to. The soul that comes out of you in the form of your child is what the word means in the country of the 13 Roads. Every other definition is younger. I will tell you what Iden traded, and what the song does, and what the 7 people who have died humming it had in common, and what the one who pays in tunes is doing now, and what I, the wanderer, am going to do in Maren-by-Salt before the 8th death. The iron road runs north from Maren-by-Salt up into the mountains where the soldiers walked. The iron road has, every league or so, a crossroads. The crossroads of the iron road are not, in the country, considered to be doors. They are considered to be tables. A person who stands at one of them at midnight is not knocking. A person who stands at one of them at midnight is sitting down to a table at which something else also sits, and is offering, by the act of sitting, to bargain. Most people do not sit down. Most people pass the crossroads in the day, on a horse, without thinking about them. The crossroads do not chase. The crossroads wait. The crossroad outside Maren-by-Salt has waited for many people. It has, in living memory, been sat at by 4 men. 3 of them refused the offer they were given and walked back into the village by the upper path and never spoke of it. The 4th was Iden Voorl. Iden Voorl was 24 years old in November of the 11th year of the long peace. He was a fiddler. He had been a fiddler since he was 8. He played at weddings and harvest suppers and at the inn on Friday nights. He was good. He was not great. He had played for a noble's wedding 3 years before and had been paid well, and had heard the noble's house musician play a piece by a composer in the capital, and had understood for the first time that the noble's house musician was great in a way Iden was not going to be great, and had decided, on the long walk back to Maren-by-Salt, that he was going to do something about it. What he did was sit down at the crossroads on the 2nd of November. He brought his fiddle. He brought a candle. He brought a piece of bread, because his grandmother had told him once that you do not approach the table empty-handed. He sat for an hour. The one who pays in tunes appeared at the 2nd hour. He was a man in a plain grey coat, mid-30s, ordinary-looking, with very clean hands. He sat down across from Iden on a stone that, Iden had thought a minute before, was not there. He said, "What do you want?" Iden said, "A song." He said, "The village will remember." Iden said, "Yes." He said, "I do not give songs that the singer can sing. I give songs that walk into a room and live there. The song will not stop. The song will be hummed by every person in the village who has heard it, awake and asleep, for as long as those people live. The song will travel. The song will be passed to children. The song will, in time, reach every person in this country." Iden said, "Yes." He said, "My price is your soul." Iden said, "Take it." He said, "Do you know what a soul is?" Iden said, "I have a vague idea." He said, "That will be enough for me." He took Iden's fiddle. He played on Iden's fiddle a tune Iden had never heard. The tune was 16 bars. The tune was simple, the way the best tunes are simple. The tune began with a rising third and ended with a falling fifth, and had, in the middle, a held note that the rest of the tune turned around. Iden listened to it once. He had it. He said, "Thank you." The one who pays in tune said, "You will not, in your lifetime, be remembered for any other song. Every village hand will know this one. They will know it as yours. They will hum it in fields and at cradles and at deathbeds. They will not, in the longer count, know they are humming it. The song will be in them, the way salt is in seawater." He said, "I will collect when the song has finished its work." Iden said, "When is that?" He said, "When the last bar has been hummed by the last living person in Maren-by-Salt. That is the work. That is the contract." Iden said, "How long?" He said, "I do not know. It is not in my hand." He stood up. He left. Iden walked back into the village before dawn. He played the tune at the inn the next Friday. It went around the village in a week. It went to the next village in a month. It was being whistled in the capital 2 years later. It is, today, a tune any person in the country of the 13 roads can hum from the first bar if you start them on the rising third. It has not, since the day Iden played it at the inn, left a single person's head once they have heard it. Iden married a year after the tune went out. He married a baker's daughter from the upper village called Maren-by-Salt. She was good to him. They had one child after 7 years of trying. The child was a girl. She was born in late winter. They named her Liena. She is 9 years old now. She has been humming the song since the first morning after she could form words. She does not know she is humming it. The first villager to die humming the song was an old shepherd named Kell, who died in his sleep at 83, humming the third bar. Nobody made anything of it. The second was the inn wife Berta, who died of a fever at 60, humming the held note. The third was a farmer who fell off a roof at 51, humming the falling fifth. The fourth was a boy of 15 who drowned in the creek, humming the song's opening from underwater while his friends watched in horror. The fifth was a young mother in childbed, humming through her labor, humming after her labor, humming as the bleeding she could not stop took her at last. The sixth was the priest. The priest was 68. He hummed it in the chapel on a Sunday and stopped in the middle of the second bar and was dead before the choir noticed. The seventh was Iden's own father, who died at 71, humming the song's first 3 bars in his armchair 3 days ago. The seventh was the one that made the village count. The village made the count and went to the keepers of the Iron Road, who are 3 old men in the case of the Iron Road, because the Iron Road is keepers' country and not road walkers' country. The keepers came. The keepers heard. The keepers asked who in the village had been to the crossroad at midnight on the 2nd of November, 31 years ago. Iden, sitting in his own kitchen with his daughter humming on a chair beside him, said, "I did." The keepers said, "What did you trade?" Iden said, "My soul." The keepers said, "Did the one who pays in tunes tell you what a soul is?" Iden said, "He said it was a vague idea." The keepers were quiet for a long minute. The eldest keeper, a man called Riol, said, "He was right not to lie to you. The country defines a soul as the child you have not yet had. You traded Liena. You traded her 31 years ago. She was not yours yet, and that is why he could take her without your knowing." Iden's wife, Maren, began to weep. Iden did not. The keepers said, "The song is collecting. Every villager who has heard the song will hum it at the moment of their dying. The song is," the keepers said, "a counting song. The one who pays in tunes is counting the village. When the last person in Maren-by-Salt has hummed the last bar, when the village goes silent, the contract closes. He comes for what he is owed. He comes for Liena." Iden said, "How many villagers are left?" The eldest keeper, Riol, said, 38. Iden said, "How do I stop it?" Riol said, "You do not." He said, "But you can, if you choose, walk back to the crossroad outside Maren-by-Salt at midnight on the 2nd of November this year, which is in 9 days, and offer the one who pays in tunes a different soul." He said, "Yours." He said, "A man's own soul is a thing he can offer once, fully grown and on the table." He said, "It has, in the long count of the country, been accepted twice." Iden has 9 days. Maren sits with him in the kitchen. Liena hums on her chair. Liena does not know what is being discussed. Liena does not know what is in her chest. I, the wanderer, walked into Maren-by-Salt yesterday because the keepers wrote to me. And they wrote to me because I am the only person they know who has, in his lifetime, sat across from the one who pays in tunes at a different crossroad and walked away without trading. They wrote, "Can you tell us if Iden's offer will be accepted?" I said, "I think it will be. The one who pays in tunes prefers fully grown souls when he can get them. He took Liena because she was the easiest collection. He will take Iden if Iden brings him." Maren said, "And Liena?" I said, "Liena will live the rest of her life and not hum the song again. The song will stop in the village when Iden's name is taken into the contract. Every villager will go quiet within a day. The song will be a tune people remember, but no one will be unable to stop humming it." Maren said, "And Iden?" I did not answer. Iden is going to go to the crossroad on the 2nd of November. I am going to walk with him. I do not know whether the one who pays in tunes will, when he hears Iden's offer, accept it cleanly, or whether he will, as is his habit, ask for a small additional thing. The small additional thing is, in the country's experience, never small. I do not know what I will do if he asks for one of Iden's hands, or one of his eyes, or the next thing Liena says to her father at the door of the house before he walks out into the dark. I do not know what you would do. I do not know if you, in your own house, have heard yourself humming a tune you cannot place, and have, in the moment of noticing, gone quiet.